Good morning and welcome to another session of Moments with Clara. Yesterday, we introduced the topic of weight gain as a result of our grieving the loss of a child. I'm not going to get into all the technical medical things such as cortisol and how that affects our body's weight. We can research that on our own. I think we know that. But what I am going to address is something that doctors don't address, and that is the fact that when we are grieving, we have underlying issues that need to be addressed, that we need to face, because those underlying issues are what is causing the spike in our cortisol, which is causing oftentimes the weight gain that we have and the reason that we can't get rid of this weight. Now, as I told you previously, I gained almost an immediate 30 pounds of weight after the loss of my son, Mike. And previously, even way before, some 30 years ago, when I delivered a stillborn baby boy, I did the same thing. I put on a big amount of weight following the loss of my little baby. It was grief. It was, I began, depending on the grief diet, which I talked about yesterday, that was just eating comfort food and not sleeping well and becoming inactive as a result of, my grieving. So we're going to address today, just kind of introduce the three main things that we're going to be dealing with when we try to resolve this grief diet that we're on. And those things are fear. Every grieving parent is filled with just tremendous fear following the loss of a child. Added anxiety, which of course we know increases that big old cortisol within our bodies. Anxiety becomes a huge boulder within our lives following any kind of deep loss. And then there is the fact that we are filled with guilt. And this is something that very few parents will talk about. And we're guilty over a whole lot of things. We're guilty because we didn't say the right words to our child. We're guilty because we feel we didn't love our child enough. We're guilty because we didn't save our child. We're guilty because we didn't see signs that our child was struggling, and on and on and on it goes. And this guilt really feeds that grief diet. I know following both of my losses, I was overcome with guilt. I truly was. For the stillbirth, I was just convinced that had I not been so anxious, had I eaten better, had I gone to the doctor sooner, I would not have delivered a stillborn baby. None of that was true. Not any of it. And following the loss of my adult son, I was overcome with guilt for a long time. Guilty that I didn't talk more often to him. He lived away. He had been married for 20 years. He had a wife and 3 children, his own company. He was busy. We didn't talk that frequently. The love was there. We just didn't pick up the phone every day and talk to each other. That overwhelming guilt really, really ate at me. And as a result, I began to delve into the comfort food, the grief diet. So in our next episodes together, our next Moments with Clara, we are going to deal with those 3 things. It's like peeling back the skin, the layers of an onion. So we're going to peel those back, address each one, and then we're going to talk about what is a healthy diet for those of us who are grieving the loss of a child. How does our mental state affect our weight? Those things that often doctors don't address with us. So stay tuned. This is just an introduction of what we will be talking about. I'll be back again tomorrow with a follow-up of this, and I appreciate you allowing me to share time with you through these brief Moments with Clara. I hope you have a very good day today, a more gentle day in your grieving. and I will see you tomorrow.